Being a princess may grant you royalty, but it also comes with huge responsibilities and expectations. What if a princess is brave enough to have her own dreams? Far away in the clan of Dunbroch, there lives a sweet little Princess Merida. She's deeply loved by King Fergus and Queen Elinor. Unlike other princesses, Merida is fond of things like fighting and archery. Fergus is aware of his daughter's interests and gifts her a specially crafted bow and arrow on her birthday. Merida starts playing with it immediately. She struggles with it as a beginner and accidentally throws the arrow in the woods. Merida rushes to the woods to fetch her arrow, but she also finds a magical blue spirit called the Will-o'-the-Wisp. They are known for guiding one to his fate. Merida immediately tells everything to her parents, but Fergus doesn't believe in magic, but Elinor does. Suddenly, a notorious demon bear called Mordu attacks out of nowhere. Elinor runs away with her daughter while Fergus fights with the bear. He injures his leg and becomes a legend. While growing up, Merida was told that some may believe their destiny is tied to the land as it's a part of us, while others say fate is woven together like a cloth, so that one's destiny intertwines with many others. It's the one thing you must search for or fight to change. Some never find it, but there are some who are led. Hearing this, she grows up and becomes the elder sister of 3 twin brothers, but their fate is quite different from her. They don't have any responsibility or rules to follow and can even get away with murder, but Merida can't get away with anything. Being a princess is like being an example. She has duties, responsibilities, and expectations. Her whole life is planned out to prepare for the day she'll become the queen like her mother. For this purpose, Elinor controls Merida's life and makes every decision for her. A princess should be knowledgeable and mature and aim for perfection, but Merida likes to be carefree and rebellious. Her mother treats her strictly but fails to change her natural personality and her unique goals. Whenever Merida gets a chance, she runs away in the woods with her beloved horse and explores nature. When she gets hungry, she sneaks into the kitchen and steals a tray of dessert. As she reaches the dinner table, Elinor scolds her for eating so indecently. Merida ignores her and starts talking about the dangerous waterfall she visited today. Elinor interrupts her again and reminds Fergus to discuss an important matter. She instructs her sons to leave the room so they can have the conversation in private. Merida assumes that she will get scolded again, but this time, she's going to face an even worse situation. The Queen has received letters from the other 3 clans, Macintosh, MacGuffin, and Dingwall. They will be presenting their sons to ask Merida's hand in marriage. They will be judged on different perimeters to get chosen as the best partner for the princess. Elinor tells Merida that this is what she has been preparing for her whole life. Like other princesses, she should not raise her voice and accept the king's decision. Merida refuses immediately and runs away. Her mother follows her and tells her the story of the legendary king. He had 4 sons and divided his land among them in desire of keeping the peace. However, the eldest son wanted to rule just by himself, and his selfishness brought chaos and ruined the kingdom's peace. Legends are lessons and rings with truth. Elinor wants Merida to sacrifice for the sake of her kingdom like a real princess should do, but Merida is not ready to get married yet, especially with someone she never met. Elinor is worried about her daughter too, but she knows that her refusal will bring war between the clans. Fergus advises her to talk to Merida and listen to her as well, but this is the actual problem. Elinor and Merida lack communication. After a few days, the 3 clans arrive for the huge ceremony. Merida is dressed up in a traditional way and she greets everyone in the big hall. Each clan introduces their eldest son, and the princess will choose the challenge for them. Merida immediately chooses archery, and the festival begins. The 3 suitors aim to shoot for the target. The first 2 fail miserably, but the third one accidentally shoots right on the spot and wins the competition. Before the king can announce the winner, Merida gets up and enters the battle. She's also the firstborn of her clan and competes for her own hand. Despite her mother warning her continuously, the brave princess shoots at all the targets flawlessly. The queen drags her to the castle and scolds her for triggering a war. Merida starts arguing and blames her mother for always trying to control her. She fixed her wedding without her consent and always wanted Merida to become like her. In anger and frustration, Merida says she will prefer dying than becoming like her mother. She also tears off their family tapestry. This enrages Elinor and she snatches Merida's bow to throw it in the fire. Merida feels like her mother just burned her life and happiness. She runs away immediately. Elinor regrets her actions, but it's too late. Merida stops in the middle of woods surrounded by huge stone slabs. She sees the Will-o'-the-Wisp again and follows its lead. It takes her to a small hut under a stone. There she meets an old lady who sells wooden handicrafts. At first, Merida wonders how her fate can be related to a random shop, but then she notices the old lady has some mysterious traits. She's a witch. Merida offers to buy all of her wooden crafts, and in exchange she wants to get a spell that can change her mother and in turn change her fate. She pays with her precious family necklace, and the witch immediately transforms her shop into her magic lab. The witch has done the same spell for a prince who wanted the power of 10 men. She summons a magical cake and asks Merida to feed it to her mother. The witch seems to forget an important instruction, but before she can tell that, she disappears in thin air. Merida rushes back to her castle and offers the cake to her mother as a peace offering. Elinor gladly accepts it, but as soon as she eats the cake, she starts feeling nausea. Merida immediately takes her to the room. Elinor feels intense pain in her stomach and wraps herself in the sheets. When she gets up again, she has transformed into a huge bear. Merida gets scared at first, but then she realizes it's still her mother. Merida blames the witch for giving her the wrong spell and apologizes to her mother. She never wished her mother to change into a bear. Fergus and the others in the hall hear the heavy steps and get upstairs to inquire. Merida requests Elinor to hide immediately, but she's not familiar with her new body yet and keeps falling here and there. Moreover, Merida and her mother don't have much understanding between them and fail to work together. The little princes see them, but recognize their mother even if she's a bear. Merida requests their help in exchange for her share of desserts for the next 1 year. The little boys spread around to distract both the king and the servants. They use fake sounds and shadows to misguide the king and give Merida a chance to escape the castle along with Elinor. They reach the same place where Merida found the will of the wisp, and she explains the whole story to her mother. Suddenly, Merida remembers the path and follows it to reach the witch castle. There's nothing inside there except for the pot. The witch has gone away for a festival and will not be back for a few months. However, she left a message for Merida. The thing she forgot to tell about the spell is that it will become permanent after the second sunrise. The only solution is to understand this phrase: fate be changed, look inside, mend the bond torn by pride. Merida doesn't understand a word and keeps asking the witch's illusion for further explanation. She ends up causing the pot to explode and destroy the whole cottage. Merida builds a temporary shelter and they spend the night there. The next morning, the queen sets up a table and brings berries and water for breakfast. Merida informs her that the berries are poisonous and water is full of worms. Elinor never stayed out of the castle, so she didn't know about such things. But Merida knows every corner of the woods. She takes her mother to the river and teaches her how to catch fish. Elinor gradually realizes that Merida's way of living isn't useless either. Everyone is special in their own way. Suddenly, Elinor starts behaving weird and she attacks Merida. The princess calls her back to the senses. The spell is getting stronger and Elinor is losing herself. She gets really depressed, but Merida assures her that everything will turn back to normal. Suddenly, she notices a will of the wisp nearby. Merida rushes after it immediately and reaches the ruins. She accidentally falls inside a hole and realizes that it's the kingdom whose story her mother used to tell. There's also a tapestry there with the picture of the eldest son torn off. It was the prince who bought the spell from the witch, and it turned him into the notorious demon Mordu. Merida climbs up from the ruins and Elinor pulls her out. Mordu keeps following them and Elinor tries her best to protect her daughter. She throws the stone slabs at Mordu and buries him in the ruins. Merida runs away, but she is worried that her mother will also become like Mordu, all because of her careless decision. The phrase the witch told about mending the bond is about mending the torn-off tapestry. They must return to the castle and fix the tapestry. Elinor knows a secret entrance through the well and they reach the hall. The clans are forcing the king to announce the husband-to-be for the princess, but Fergus believes none of the princes is suitable for her beloved daughter. Elinor knows this will start a war that will end with murdering each other. She requests Merida to handle the matter. She addresses everyone like her mother and tells them about the legends. A kingdom destroyed just because of someone's selfish decisions. It's not just a story. Merida believes legends are lessons just like Elinor said. She finally understands her mother and her decisions. Merida acts like a real princess and unites the clan with her words. She reminds them how they fought against the odds with unity and faith in each other. They fought for each other, and they risked for each other. Merida accepts her mistake of unintentionally ruining the bond between the clans. She decides to make the best decision about her marriage. Before she can speak, Elinor gestures to her with her own decision. She understood her daughter, and she wasn't all wrong. The queen tells Merida that it's time to break the tradition and let everyone enjoy the freedom of choice. They are free to write their own stories and find love at the right time. The clans accept the decision gladly, and they all go outside to celebrate. Meanwhile, Merida and Elinor rush to the room to fix the tapestry. Before they can, the king finds Elinor's room in a mess and assumes that she's killed by the bear. Merida tries to explain that the bear is queen itself, but Fergus doesn't listen. He locks Merida and rushes after Elinor along with the forces of all the 4 clans. Merida calls her brothers who also ate the cake and became little bears. She asks them to bring the keys while she grabs the tapestry thread and needle. After getting unlocked, she rides her horse and rushes after the king. He has tied up Elinor and is about to kill her. Merida tries to stop him, but he has lost his senses in the urge of revenge. Suddenly, Mor'du attacks them. None of the forces can stand against the deadly bear. He pins down Merida and is about to kill her. Elinor can't let anyone hurt her daughter. She breaks out of the ropes and fights Mor'du. Together with Merida, they throw a huge stone slab over Mor'du and defeat him. It's almost sunrise. Merida immediately throws the repaired tapestry over the queen, but nothing happens. The tapestry is mended, but the bond hasn't been mended yet. Merida apologizes for her mistake and all the harsh things she said. Though she didn't realize it before, her mother was always there for her. She wants her back. As soon as Merida says this, the spell breaks, and Elinor is back to her human form. They all go back to the castle and celebrate. Afterward, they give a warm farewell to the clans who traveled all the way here. Meanwhile, Merida and Elinor have learned to listen to each other and come to a mutual decision. There are those who say fate is something beyond our command, that destiny is not our own. But there's a better point of view. Our fate lives within us. You only have to be brave enough to see it.